One of Nigeria's foremost interactive platforms, the NECCI PR Roundtable, marked its 18th edition in Lagos, focusing on the youth debates from potential to reality, inclusion, engagement, and transformation. Convener of the roundtable, Mrs. NECCI Ali Balogun, in her opening remarks, gave insight into the value of the annual discourse to the nation.
Founded 18 years ago, NECCI PR Roundtable is designed to create an interactive platform for top practitioners in public relations, corporate communications, perception, and brand managers. The Roundtable aims to confront the issues of modern Nigerian public relations stuff with a view to examining how we can profess solutions using strategic communication. In the process, the platform confronts emerging issues in modern Nigerian public communications and messaging system, providing practical analysis and creating industrially functional and usable inferences and solutions. The 18th edition of the NECCI PR Roundtable is tagged the 2018 Youth Debate from Potential to Reality. The main focus of this debate will be in three major areas: inclusion, engagement, and transformation. We hope that through this debate we will explore strategies to foster a paradigm shift in the norm by arguing for greater inclusion of youth in the design and implementation of interventions targeted at their socio-economic advancement and that of the nation.
In her keynote, Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, a former federal minister and convener, Bring Back Our Girls Group, outlined critical steps Nigerian youth must take to participate in the governance process in the nation.
It's important to know why we should care and why the youth segment of the population should care about their inclusion in governance and the necessity for them to care about what governance delivers or does not deliver in society. If you cannot be a disruptor, if you will merely be a substitute of what provided you uninspired leadership, it therefore means that the only youths that would be offering themselves up to be the disruptors of our political system that has offered poor leadership and then offered poor governance must be the ones who, on their own, can do a self-assessment and check off the list on character, on competence, on capacity. If you do not assess yourself to score high on character, on competence, on capacity, it does not matter how young you are. You will be a locust. You will be an incompetent, clueless leader. You will also be a leader who fails in the day of adversity because your strength will be small. So you can see clearly that for me, I am not one of those who, as soon as I hear youth, I say, yes, that's it. I'm going to say to that youth, what's your self-assessment of your readiness to disrupt an existing order that has failed you phenomenally? If you're able to answer that question truthfully to yourself, then long may it be that the young people will begin to govern us from now. Let me end on the note that I always say to people that youth is a currency that quickly disappears. So don't get stuck on the idea of we are the youth. You must take a very strong, make a strong resolve that you will be the ones that can disrupt this failure. Because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, the failure is unsustainable. By 2050, Nigeria would have become the third largest population in the world. And if it continues with that pattern, you can imagine what the indicators, as miserable as they are today, would then be. And surely, you don't want it to be that in your time of youth, you failed to prepare for the future. Because when that future comes, they would rant at you in the way that you have ranted at your parents, who have not done right by you. It is time for you to change that legacy of intractable failure. That failure can be reversed, and it falls on you to do so.
Notable entrepreneur and chairman of First Bank Nigeria Limited, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, in her presentation addressed the issues around youth and business in Nigeria.
Let's go and build this nation. It's the responsibility of every single one of us. It's not of some people. It's not for the Dr. Ezekiel Silis to die doing it every day. No. We all have to own it, every single one of us, in our way, to do what you and I can do, to do that which is right. You know, every time we're talking about, the young people are going into I get scared, because one thing I have realized is what is recognized as right and wrong has changed. There's some people that are called youth today that have never seen what we call right as right, because they haven't had to live around it. From parents to teachers to workplaces. Everything they've been exposed to are the wrong things being accepted as right for the wrong reasons. So part of the project is redefining what our value really is. That's why I'm saying to you, when you're having what seems like the same conversation, be sure you're saying the same thing. Be sure you're seeking the same thing. Because half the time, you're talking about different things. And except we have a common goal and we agree parameters under which those goals will be achieved. And we set the temperature of what will be accepted as good, bad, evil, right or wrong, we will continue to be challenged. Because when a bad candidate comes out for election, who votes for the person? Influenced or not? People. And the biggest number of voters, actually young people and women. But we do it for the wrong reasons.
The event featured panel sessions on mainstreaming the youth agenda, perspective for national development, 2019 and beyond, and a highly interactive discussion on resetting the youth agenda, dynamics and challenges.
In 2019, right, I want to contextualize how powerful we are. Now, we've been paying lip service to the fact that we constitute about 70% of the population, right? Can anyone tell me what that amounts to?
Out of every 10, 7 people are youth.
So if we're 180 million, that makes you what?
160 million.
About 120, 130 million,
130.
right?
Yeah.
How much votes did APC get in 2015 to tilt power and seize power and bring about change? How many votes did they get? Let's say 15 million votes. How many are you?
120 million.
130 million. The problem that you have is the problem of the man that has power but does not know that he has power. He's as useless as the man that doesn't have power. The second problem you have is you have power, you don't know how to use your power. You are as useless as the person that does not have power. So, we must change the agenda. And for us to change the agenda, we must have one vision. But we must see ourselves as one people, one tribe, with the same ideology, being led and guided by the same core values that drive us to create the future of our dreams.
There are lots of opportunities in this nation, but these opportunities are right now disguised as problems, as challenges, and as crises. Only those who are visionary enough to recognize the powerful way of polarity will ardently seek to uncover the powerful solutions embedded deep in this crisis. There's a law that states that everything has an opposite, which means that every problem has a solution also. So such a paradigm is a required mindset that youth need to eventually discover a solution to whatever issues are that you're dealing with. You have the solution, the power lies with you right now. So you need to get up, you need to rise, you need to organize yourselves, and you need to pull us out of this conglomerate that we find ourselves in today. Thank you.
When people say youth employment, forget all that one. Then those of us who even here can't employ people. When they say entrepreneurship, define what is entrepreneurship as hustle, or whether you are creating a solution. You are not. What you call entrepreneurship in Nigeria is survival. And we are all stakeholders in an inefficient system and a beneficiary. Let me tell you something. If this country were to work efficiently, 80% of us would be unemployed. Because we are all deriving our income from the fallout of the inefficient system. So when we want to discuss this issue about youth, in a society, all of you, you will say you are youth, but you are not in a political party. I understand, because all your political parties comprise people like me and me, who at 50 are still calling ourselves youth because you have to eat. You understand? That's how it is. So listen, the whole idea is that start comparing yourself within your region and your continent. Having a global benchmark for yourself. If the country cannot help you, there are so many opportunities you can do. What you are facing was not so different from what some of us face.
Dr. Obi Ezekwesili speaks further on the youth debate and inclusion in the country.
There's a lot in terms of the resources that are available intellectually to any young person around the world today. One of the things that I have observed is that there's practically no Nigerian young person that does not have access to the internet. Now, the internet has incredible resources available to the young person to adapt their skills. So you said, I studied a course that's not in demand in the market. You can quickly adapt to a skill that is in demand. That's the kind of the power of the era of knowledge and technology as a basis for economic development. What that then means is you have to prioritize your human development above your interest in utilizing your data for other activities. Do you see that? So we've seen quite a number of young people who completely changed career on the basis of the resources available to them on the internet.
How can Nigerian youth position themselves in governance beyond 2019?
By organizing instead of agonizing. You know, they've got to organize themselves. And as I said, they need to connect their number, their size, to the issues that matter to them and to use their voice. The voice of the youth as voice, not as voices, can completely change the conversation that we're having about our 2019 elections.
With the reality that the youth constitute about 65% of Nigeria's population, investing in human capital development and exploring the opportunities in the digital fourth industrial revolution is key for the country's development. This must be driven by visionary, pragmatic, and strategic young leaders who have character, competence, and capacity.